today we are going to be talking about Photoshop. It is a very powerful software by Adobe used to create, edit, and manipulate photos and graphics. I'm super excited to show you some of the most basic uses of the software. So with that, let's get started. So first we're going to start by opening up Photoshop here. And once we have it open, you will see a couple of options here. Starting out on the left-hand side, just like with most of the Adobe applications, you can see here you can either open a project or you can create new. From there, you will be given a range of options and different templates that you can choose from as well. So you can see at the top here, there are photo templates, there are print templates as well, and mockups. There are art and illustration templates, web, mobile, film, and video. If you've used the program in the past, you'll have some recent artboard sizes and templates already loaded up for you as well. And then if you have any saved mockups or templates, those will be here for you. Of course, you can always start by choosing a template, or you can also set your own custom dimensions and specifics here on the right-hand side. And once you have it to your specifications of the project, you then would hit Create. But for this specific example, I'm just going to close this here and I'm just going to open an image. This is also just a great thing about Photoshop. You can, instead of having to see the dimensions of a specific project, you can simply open up an image right from your computer. So I'm going to open this image I have here on my desktop and click Open. And once you have it open, you will see your artboard. So when it comes to Photoshop, just like in Illustrator, on the left-hand side, you will see all of the different tools that you can use on your project. The great thing about the Photoshop update and software is that as you hover over the tools, it will tell you exactly what they are and what they can be used for. And it'll also show you the keyboard shortcuts. On the right-hand side, you will have a variety of different options. If this is collapsed for you, you will see it kind of staggered like this. And then of course you can expand it out to see more of the details in each of these different adjustment panels. So one of the most important and basic panels that you are going to be dealing with in Photoshop is your layers panel. Your layers panel essentially gives you the option to create, as you can guess, multiple layers and multiple design elements within your project. Right now I just have the one layer because I just have the one image that I opened. I'm going to go ahead and unlock that. You'll see why here in just a second. Essentially it just makes it editable. And so if I wanted to, I can add a new layer and mess around with that. But for now, we're just going to leave it at 1. So I can just delete that here. And it'll ask if I wanted to delete that layer, of course. And we'll get into why that is in just a second. At the top here, you have your control panel. It changes for every different tool, for every tool that you select. You're able to do different things and make different modifications at the top here as well. So right now I have my paint bucket tool selected. I'm going to come up here and click on my move tool, and you see that the options change, and I'm able to do several different things with my move tool now that I have that selected. As you can guess, this allows me to move the objects within the layer, and I can also transform those objects within the layer. And so that's pretty self-explanatory there. And that's just what the move tool does. And I'm just going to place that back where it was. The first thing I want to talk about more in depth is the artboard itself. So you can see it is essentially the dimensions of the photo that I imported. I can always change that throughout the project or at the beginning or the end. One way of doing that is by coming over here to your crop tool. Your crop tool allows you to adjust the size of your artboard, but of course the ratio of the image itself that you're working on. And so it'll actually give you a live preview of that as you're doing it. And once you're happy with it, you can then click the check mark up here. But for now, I'm just going to cancel that. And of course, if you wanted to, you can go from left to right, up and down. You can also hold Option while resizing. Option essentially retains the horizontal adjustment there for you. And same deal, if you were to hold Option from the top, it would control the vertical resizing for you. And then from the corner, it would do both. If you hold Option, it would do both. Keep it as symmetrical as possible. But for now, we're just going to leave it as is. So that is the crop tool, and it also helps with resizing your artboard throughout the project. The next tool I'm going to talk about is the text tool, another basic of of Photoshop. So the way to access that is by simply coming over here and clicking the T. It's also a keyboard shortcut T. So I click that, and I'm able to add text to my image. Now take note, I can click anywhere on here and start typing, so I just click here, and you'll notice a couple things happen here. One of the things that happen is you will see on the top control bar, you now have different options to control this text. And then on the right hand side under your layers, I'll just expand this so you can see, a new layer is created. Every time you create a new object, a text layer, a shape layer, a new image, it will create a new layer for you, which is great for organization, and also it keeps things organized when you're working on several different elements all at once. You also notice that the text is pretty small, so the first thing I'm going to do is come in here and actually increase the size of the text. I can then come over to my Move tool and just move this within the frame. And so now, if I want to edit this text, I can simply double click on it, and it will highlight the text for me. And I can start making changes. I'm just going to type here. And then I can come up here, after selecting the text, I can come up here and I can actually change the font as well. And so just choose any font. That one looks good. And now I have my text in place. Now, for this example, what I want to do is I actually want to make this text look like it's showing up on the wall itself. And so I'll show you just how to do that here in a second. But before I do that, I want it to be a bit bigger. So you saw before I just double clicked and I was able to increase the size of the text at the top under the control panel here. Another way to do that is by using the Move tool. I can simply hover over the corner, and once those two arrows show, I can then expand my text. What's different from Illustrator to Photoshop is that when you are resizing something, to keep it proportionate, you actually don't need to hold Shift. You just need to resize it as is. If you hold Shift, you'll see it actually will skew the resizing. So you actually don't need to do that. But let's say you want to resize it from the center here, but you want to keep it centered, you would actually hold Option and then resize. Because resizing it without holding Option simply drags it out to the right, you can see there. But if you wanted to keep it centered, you can hold Option and do that. Okay, so now that we have our text to the size that we want, I kind of want to make it look like it's showing on the wall here. So the first thing I want to do is actually skew it so that it is in line with the bricks that we have here. So with my Move tool still selected on my text, I want to skew this, but it's not allowing me to do that. One way of doing that is by holding Control and clicking. And when you do that, it now gives you a couple of options to scale this object. And so you can see free transform, scale, rotate, skew, so on and so forth. But what I'm looking to do is have it align with these bricks on the wall here, which are kind of at an angle. So I'm actually going to skew this. Once I click skew and I go back to my text on the side, my side options here, you see it now gives me these the up and down black arrow. This gives me a chance to then skew up or down the way I want the text to go. If you just return to the middle here with your mouse and it's a solid black, that allows you to then just drag it. And after dragging it up, I still want to skew it down just a little bit more. And since the skew is still active, essentially, you can just continue to make those adjustments just like that. So once I have it skewed to the point where I want, I'm going to come up here and click yes. And now I'm going to show you a simple trick of getting the wall effect to actually show through the letters to really give it the feel that it's showing up on the wall here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to my text layer, and I'm going to then come up here next to the opacity, and I'm going to go to our blending mode. So I'm actually going to come over here and I'm going to go to overlay, and you'll see immediately, I can zoom in here a little bit. It now gives the text an effect as if it's actually showing up on the wall. I'm actually going to double click on this and select everything and come up here to your toolbar at the top, and you can recolor it. And what's great about recoloring is that it will show you in real time your recoloring and how they look. Now you can see I'm selecting a black or a dark gray here, but it's still showing up on the wall as kind of a dark pink. Well, that's because I have an overlay blending mode on it, and so it's essentially still showing up, as if it's on the wall. And so I can definitely mess around with that and essentially just see how the overlay layer works with the pink that's already on the wall. And I kind of like the way the black is showing up, so I'm going to keep that. Click OK. And there you have the text on the wall. So I just talked a little bit about recoloring, the text tool, transformation. I'm now going to talk a little bit about one of my favorite tools to use, which is the quick selection tool. So the quick selection tool here, or the keyboard shortcut W. So I'm going to click on that. Before I do anything, I'm going to make sure I'm actually on my image layer. So always make sure you're clicked on the layer that you actually want to make edits to. And once I have that, what I'm going to try to do is recolor just my body here. So with my quick selection tool selected, I'm then going to just start selecting myself. And you can see it's doing it pretty quick and pretty clean, which is great. You really want to make sure you're working with clean images in Photoshop. That way you're actually you're able to make pretty clean edits. So now with that selected, I'm now working with just the selected area. And so what I want to do is I want to change this to black and white and kind of give it some contrast with the pink wall here. So with my with the object selected and my layer still selected there, we're going to come over to the bottom right here with the half filled in circle, and we are going to create an adjustment layer. And we're going to click black and white. And you can see it then takes the shape that we have selected and makes it black and white. And of course I can make several different adjustments to the colors and the levels, the tint levels here if you want. But for this example it looks good enough, so I'm going to leave it as is, and we don't need those adjustments right now. So the last tool that I wanted to talk about here with going over some of the basics is the shape builder tool. It is pretty simple and self-explanatory, but again, I just like to go over some of the most basic tools here for you. So shape builder tool is the shortcut U, but it's also right below your direct selection tool. So I'm just going to come down and click on that, and then you can start building out your shape. Now, any tool again with a triangle in its right bottom corner, that means there's more to it. So you can click and hold, and it will open up different shapes for you. So I'm actually going to delete the rectangle, and I actually am going to get the ellipse. So let's take the ellipse, and you can see right now it's creating ovals. If you want a perfect circle, you hold shift, just like that. And I'm actually, and of course you can resize it, and you can come over and to properties, to your properties panel. After resizing it, just make sure you click OK, and come over to your properties panel, and you can recolor it. Come over just like we did with the text, and I'm going to change the blending mode so that it is also an overlay. So it looks like it's also on the wall here, and we can kind of reshape it just to kind of give it a skewed look. And again, we can come over to our properties after clicking OK, and we can change its color. And if we wanted to duplicate this, we can hold Option and click and drag. So there you have it, a very brief and quick basic overview of Adobe Photoshop. So we went over of the artboard, the setup of the artboard, how to open and create a new project, how you can open photos directly that you may have saved on your computer and start editing away at them. We went over the text tool, the shape builder tool, some blending modes, the quick selection tool, and of course how to transform different objects as well. And as you can see, you can go on and on and on to create some really awesome imagery within Photoshop, some really cool graphics, some really cool edited and authentic photos as well. But with that being said, I hope you took something from this. I'm really looking forward to digging into these programs with you all in more detail and with some more advanced tutorials. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments below. I would love to hear what you all are looking to see out of some of these tutorials and examples. And of course, as always, if you like what you saw, feel free to like, share, and subscribe.